Ayo, and what's up, gang? Thank you once again for tuning back into the channel. It is Saturday, June the 3rd. We are just 24 hours away from WWE's Extreme Rules pay-per-view, and we are going to talk about it right here and right now on the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. Let's do it, baby. Welcome back once again, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning back into the channel. I am your host, Nick Nightmare. This is the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show right here on Sledgehammer TV, only on YouTube.com. Also available on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and Podbean. Don't forget to check us out there if you do so choose. We are here tonight to talk about Extreme Rules. So let's talk about Extreme Rules. On paper, this card's not that bad. Like, if you look at it just as far as names and match for match, not bad. But the execution of this whole entire night has me absolutely terrified. And let's get into it, and let's start right at the top. Usually I go from the bottom and work my way up to the main event, but we're going to start at the top because this is the match that has the most to talk about, which is the Universal Title #1 Contenders match. The Fatal 5-Way. And before we even get started, can I just say how sick I am of Fatal fucking 5-Ways? How many of them have we seen since the brand split now? Between the women's division and the tag team division, and the lack of direction on Raw that they don't know what to do with 5 of the best wrestlers in the world today. And they can't come up with anything better than just take the 5 of them and throw them into one match, and then do that same exact thing over and over and over again, whether it be Raw or SmackDown. They're just as guilty of the Fatal 5-Way. I'm tired of seeing it. I need something different, and they need to get shit going in a better direction over there. But that being said, let's get into said Fatal 5-Way match. Look at this fucking match. Look at this field. Seth Rollins, the Architect, the Destroyer, Samoa Joe, the Demon Finn Balor. We have the Master Manipulator, Bray Wyatt, and the Big Dog, Roman Reigns. Now, right off the bat, your favorite to win this match, being that it's WWE, is obviously going to be Roman. But in order for them to keep everybody interested, they have to do something different here. They can't just go with the Roman Reigns is going to win. And I'll tell you why I don't really think he's going to win, is because he won clean over Seth Rollins this past Monday night on Raw. There would be no reason to do that if he were in fact going to go on and win the Fatal 5-Way. Also, it would just really not make too much sense as far as booking and wins and losses, and Seth is going to have to get this win back at some point, which kind of makes you lean towards the fact that maybe they're going to give it to Seth Rollins. And Seth Rollins will be the incumbent challenger for the champion, Brock Lesnar, when he decides to grace us again at Great Balls of Fire, which is still the friggin' name of the pay-per-view that's happening instead of the King of the Ring, and it's absolutely disgusting. Not for nothing, you could have gotten rid of this pay-per-view as well and called this the King of the Ring instead of Extreme Rules, which is an old and washed-up concept that the wrestlers aren't even allowed to exploit. They're not supposed to get bloodied, there's not supposed to be headshots, so how extreme can we really be, guys? Let's be honest about this. Come on. Extreme Rules, really? And an Extreme Rules Fatal 5-Way match is exactly the same as any other Fatal 5-Way match that there has ever been, because there is no disqualifications in a Fatal 5-Way match. So just by calling it Extreme Rules doesn't make it special and unique or for the first time ever, because it's just a Fatal 5-Way. Extreme Rules, first time ever. Stick that right in your ass. And since we're sticking things up people's, you know what, I would like to stick this match right up the WWE's, you know what. I'm trying to keep it a little more family friendly for those of you that didn't like any of my foul language, but I mean, I can't help it. I'm from New York. The language is going to come out. I will do my best to curb myself. I'm just trying to be a little entertaining. And if you don't like it, too bad. It's my show. I'm going to curse if I want to, curse if I want to, sing if I want to. And if you don't like it, too bad. But I love you anyway. Thanks for watching. This Fatal 5-Way is going to be less entertaining than that little skit that I just did for you guys just now. There is no way they can book this match properly. Who's going to win this match? I mean, I've just highlighted what I think is really going to happen. They'll probably give it to Seth because you have no reason to give it to Joe yet, because you're not going to start that program with Brock until probably after SummerSlam, maybe leading it into the Royal Rumble, because there have been whispers of there being plans for a big program between Brock and Samoa Joe. I just don't believe that the Universal title is going to end up being on the line in that said feud. You have Finn Balor going up against Bray Wyatt at some point. They've already teased that many times, so you have that feud brewing in the middle there. And you got Lonely Roman, a man amongst himself on an island all his own, who just wants to be the big dog and be the champ and do whatever the company tells him to do. Seth Rollins, like I said, right now he's in this thing going with Samoa Joe as well, but he's most likely the front runner to end up being challenging the Beast Brock Lesnar. He's faced Brock Lesnar before. As he said, he's not afraid to face him again. And I think that would be an interesting matchup to see again. I mean, it needs to have more meaning behind it, I think. I mean, you have this great field of 5 guys. And Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar just doesn't appeal to me as far as star power. Samoa Joe versus Brock Lesnar obviously does. Finn Balor versus Brock Lesnar obviously makes sense to me. Styles make matches, you guys. Not AJ Styles, wrestling styles. They make matches great. And you take a scrappy, young, no quit in him, demon Finn Balor versus the Beast incarnate from Suplex City, Brock Lesnar, and you put those two elements in a ring, you are going to get a combustible explosion that is unlikely to be matched by anything else you could put together on that card. Finn Balor is probably one of the best people to face Brock Lesnar, because as many people go, oh, it's not believable, he's a little guy, he's a vanilla midget. I say, go fuck yourself, because Finn Balor is is the best wrestler on the Raw roster. Far, way and above over everybody else. And he will put on a spectacular performance given an opponent the likes of Brock Lesnar. Look at what he was able to do with a guy like Samoa Joe down in NXT. Brock versus Balor. Beast versus Demon. It needs to happen at some point on some stage, and this is the perfect place to have it begin. That's who my sentimental favorite is. That's who I would like to win. Finn Balor should take this match and go on to do as I just said and face the Beast at Great Balls of Fire. You know, it would make a much more intriguing match, and it would be harder for people to call. Everybody's just going to absolutely go for Brock because he's the big badass in the situation. But if WWE was smart, they'd allow people to go, you know what, I don't know, that Finn Balor, he just might be able to get big old Brock Lesnar. Roman Reigns versus Brock, we've seen already, which only leaves Bray Wyatt versus Brock Lesnar. An intriguing matchup, again, as far as psychological styles are concerned, but I don't think I want to see that. For some reason, that match doesn't appeal to me. I am a huge fan of Bray Wyatt. I've always been a huge fan of Brock. Why I wouldn't want to see them come together, I don't know. There's just something inside of me that says that's not a match that I want to see. So I hope that's not the way it's set to go, because whoever's going to end up facing him anyway, this is going to be a nothing. It's going to be a one-off. This is going to be We're going to have this short feud from one pay-per-view to the next. Brock is going to crush whoever he goes up against. So, as we started off saying, most likely Seth Rollins has the least to lose in this situation. If he wins the match, he goes on and will end up losing to Brock Lesnar at Great Balls of Fire, and it will do him no damage whatsoever. As far as everybody else in this match, it just wouldn't make sense to have them, any one of the four of them, win just to go on and lose 4 to 6 weeks down the line whenever we're having this other one. And if you're asking me, I would go with Finn Balor and make it a long-running program, not just this one-off, and blow it off at SummerSlam. You let it go through the whole summer. You let it build. Maybe not even let them get at each other at all after the initial encounter. And you let it simmer and you let it build. Maybe you let Brock Lesnar come this close to losing on that night and it's just creeping under Finn Balor's skin. Maybe he doesn't fight Brock Lesnar as the Demon at Great Balls of Fire. Maybe he tries his luck as Finn Balor and he just comes so close and he just needed a little edge, and maybe he would have been able to do it had he let the Demon out, which he will do subsequently at SummerSlam, where he could beat Brock Lesnar for the Universal title as the Demon version of Finn Balor, making it absolutely fucking magical, and that's what should happen. Are they going to do it that way? Absolutely not. What are they going to do? My pick and my prediction for what the WWE will do: Seth Rollins will win this match and go on and face the Beast down the line. And that's it. Other than this match, which we can do away with the picture now here. Let's just hit the button there. Boom. Let's talk about the rest of Extreme Rules, which is, again, not really that extreme. The Intercontinental Championship match, Dean Ambrose versus The Miz. If Ambrose is disqualified, he will lose the Intercontinental Championship. If Maurice does not get involved and get The Miz intentionally disqualified in this match within the first 5 minutes of this match, then this whole entire match is a failure. I know that I don't like short matches and whatever, but if you're putting that caveat in, there has to be a reason for it. There's no need for The Miz and Dean Ambrose to have a 15-minute attempt at another decent match that they have had and can have, like they did do on SmackDown, but they did that on SmackDown, so we've seen it already. We don't have to see it again. What I'd like to see is The Miz live up to his heel persona and use the rules to win back his Intercontinental Championship in a dastardly fashion, and have his wife come right in there and kick The Miz right in the balls. Take one for the team. Come in there and kick me in the nuts. I'll drop down. Dean Ambrose will get disqualified. I become the Intercontinental Champion. That is what The Miz would do. Cheat to win, use the rules to his advantage, coming out as the champion. That's what should happen. What's going to happen? We're going to have a humdrum of a match where Dean Ambrose will probably find a way to come out on top. They'll probably tease a disqualification here and there, and Dean Ambrose will beg, "Oh, please don't do it, I didn't mean it, blah, blah, blah," to the referee, and he'll let it go, and then he'll end up retaining his title towards the end of it. I don't think they'll have the guts to pull the trigger on giving the title back to The Miz, even though he deserves it and will do a much better job with it than Dean Ambrose, because he's just relegating it back to obscurity and unimportantville, because nobody cares about the Intercontinental Championship around the waist of Dean Ambrose. I don't know why that is. It's just what's happening. Almost like what's happened with Dolph Ziggler. He's just gotten to that. He's hit his peak. He's plateaued. Plateaued. That's a fun word. Say it along with me. Plateaued. And this is probably about as high as he's going to get. But we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully, they do what I suggest and give it to The Miz and let him run with it. The rest of this card, again, it doesn't get any better. You have the Raw Women's Championship match, and I'm not one to complain about Alexa Bliss at all. I absolutely love Alexa Bliss. I like Alexa Blissa. That's just me. But this match is horrendous. This is a callback to the days of WCW. Everybody, I'm sure, has said it already. Who cares about anything on a pole? Unless somebody's on my pole, I don't want to know about what's on a pole. Anything on a pole match is hokey and cheesy and horrible. And let's not forget the fact that Miss Bliss is about 5 feet of fury, right? She's about 5 feet tall. Bayley's got a few feet on her. How high could they possibly put this kendo stick if they want Alexa Bliss to reach it? Or at least have it in a fair reach. She may not be the one to end up getting it, but it needs to be able to be gotten, which will make it significantly easier for Bayley to get the kendo stick in the first place, just based off their height differential. Notwithstanding that minor scientific little fact, I hate on a pole matches. It reminds me automatically of the coal miner's glove on a pole match from WCW. Jake the Snake Roberts versus Sting. Spin the wheel, make the deal. All that kind of stuff, if you're old enough to remember along with me. Those kind of WCW days before it even got really bad. I mean, this was just hokey. But it would eventually get worse, because in the 90s, during the Attitude Era in WCW, they seemingly put everything on a pole, from Viagra to contracts to anything they can get their hands on. Pink slips, Judy Bagwell on a forklift. Thank you for that one. That's the territory we're in with this match. So just by doing that, I would have rather them just have a kendo stick match and litter the ring with sticks and let these girls just bash the shit out of each other. Would have been way more entertaining and much better for the women's division. Way more than anything on a pole. And now that I've said it twice in a sexual way, let's just say that it feels kind of wrong to have women being placed in a match where things have to be on a pole. I don't know. I hate it. I hate the concept that they put this match in. Everybody hated the This Is Your Life segment leading up to this match. It's just not working, and it's to no fault of Alexa Bliss. She has been nailing her promos. It's just the shit they've been writing for her, especially that This Is Your Life segment. Even The Rock couldn't have pulled that one off. The Rock, Austin, and Mick Foley couldn't have pulled that one off. Doesn't matter. CM Punk couldn't have pulled that whole situation off, given the dreck she was forced to try to put over during that segment. And this match is going to be no different. It's going to be hopefully quick. And I don't see Bayley winning this match. She definitely shouldn't, because I don't like the hot potato title, as we are known to say on this channel. But more than that, Alexa Bliss needs to solidify herself as the best, and she needs a nice long title run. There's nobody on Raw that can touch her. She needs to have Nia Jax as her bodyguard, and she could be a little female Shawn Michaels with Nia Jax as her big female Kevin Nash bodyguard, and that is the way this needs to go down. And they will push away all comers, and nobody gets to Alexa unless they go through Nia, and that will build her as the most dominant heel women's champion in the company. Bigger than the Queen, bigger than Natty Neidhart, bigger than anything we've seen in recent years, because that's how you build a championship around a heel. You have them cheat to win, you have them duck the matches, you have them place barriers in front of their opponents, and what better barrier than her real life best friend, Nia Jax, who should be the precursor to any title match that is placed in front of in front of Alexa Bliss, especially when it comes to somebody like Bayley. She could have had some great matches with Nia Jax, earned this match, bring the hardcore out of her, and then you could have introduced the kendo sticks and all this other shit that they're going to do. But Alexa Bliss hopefully comes out with the win here. That's what I think is going to happen. The Raw Tag Team Championship match, the Hardy Boys versus Sheamus and Cesaro inside a steel cage. The only good thing about this match is that it's inside of a steel cage, but I have absolutely zero interest in anything that is going on with the Hardy Boys until they become broken. As far as we have been informed, there has been a big legal snafu with the Hardy Boys and Impact Wrestling, as goes for the legalities of using the Broken Brilliance gimmick and whatnot, and I do not believe that that has been settled. So as though this match looks to be a way to set them up to begin to be broken by possibly losing the titles to Sheamus and Cesaro in this steel cage, I do not see that being the case. The Hardy Boys will probably continue this nostalgic run as champions, which is already starting to wear thin on me, and it doesn't matter how many times he in the camera, because if you're not talking to me and you're not cutting your promos, you're not Broken Matt Hardy. Just because you have your stripe and you smile and then you do your V1, you're not what we were expecting. You're not what we wanted to see come back to the WWE. Sure, lots of you love the Hardys. Just come back as the Hardys and be the Hardys. But the whole reason why anybody even wanted them to come back is because of how absolutely brilliant what they were doing was. And we're all being ripped off of it right now. And it's all thanks to Ed Nordholm and these assholes down at Anthem and Impact, who are doing this for no other reason than to just make sure that Vince doesn't have that toy to play with. And it sucks. And until the Hardys are broken, I don't care what they're doing. I don't care that they're champions. I don't care what's going on. I need that story to progress, even if you're going to do it in a completely original and different way, using different words, different terminologies, different phrases, a different accent, different outfits. Just do it already. Because I'm tired of the old school Hardy Boys, because that's exactly what they are. They're old now, and they don't look like the Hardy Boys that they should be. It's time to do something a little different. Hopefully this match leads to that, but I severely doubt it, and I foresee the Hardy Boys retaining their tag team championships in this match. The only other match I'm really interested in, even though this feud kind of stalled as of late, is the WWE Cruiserweight Championship match between Neville and Austin Aries. I'm ready for this feud almost to come to an end too, because everything that they're doing on 205 Live with this feud has kind of just run its course. And now we've had Austin Aries in the very last matchup on Raw in a tag team match put Neville in the last chancery and get him to tap out. So the champ's already tapped out. The momentum is gone from that moment. Unless Aries gets a 3 count. Maybe this is the time to change the championship and give it to Austin Aries. Or maybe it's a time for a new challenger. Not taking anything away from Austin Aries. He's absolutely fantastic. He's my favorite performer in the 205 division, bar none. But maybe he's destined for bigger and better things. You know, maybe he deserves a little more than 205 Live. Maybe he goes back to NXT. You got Bobby Roode and everybody down there. He would definitely fit right in. But that all depends on how this match ends up. And I think that Neville is going to find a way to come out of this with his championship intact and around his waist once again. Especially, like I said, on the Go Home show, we seen Austin Aries going over on him, like with the last chancery, getting him to tap out. So most likely, Neville comes out with the win. And finally, in the match that everybody's talking about, that's called sarcasm, everybody. a mixed tag team match. Rich Swann and The Boss, Sasha Banks, versus Noam Dar and Alicia Fox. And that's all you're getting, because I don't care about this match. Not one little teensy tiny little bit. Not even that much. I can't even get it any closer than that without it actually being closed. Check it out. That's how many fucks I give about this match. The lead up to it has been terrible. The booking around it has been horrible. Has Sasha Banks been moved to the 205 division? What the fuck is going on? I don't care. Not taking anything away from the talent of Rich Swann, because you can't handle this. Are you ready for this? You can't handle it. I can't handle this match. It makes zero sense, and whoever wins, does it matter? Does it matter if you win this match? Is it going to do anything to propel Rich Swann's career? Is it going to do anything to elevate Alicia Fox from the sidelines of being just a manager and put her back into the ring? Or is she stuck being the mid-card title of 205 Live? Because that's pretty much what she is. If you could easily replace her with a championship belt, make it a pretty purple belt, make it different, call it the Cruiserweight Intercontinental, Cruiserweight Television Champion, whatever you want to call it, give it to Noam Dar, and you'd get the same effect that you're getting with Alicia Fox on his fucking arm. The only thing is you don't get to hear him say that annoying Alicia Fox. I'm over it. I'm over the whole fucking situation, and I don't even care. Odds are somehow Alicia Fox is going to pin Sasha Banks if the WWE does what I think the WWE does. But logic says Rich Swann and Sasha Banks, the bigger and better duo in this matchup, will end up with the win. And that is our preview for Extreme Rules, which should be starting in just under 24 hours from now. By the time I get this video posted, you only have a short amount of time to watch this one before the WWE Network goes live. 7 o'clock with the pre-show, 8 o'clock with the main show. Extreme Rules. Hopefully it doesn't take as long as Raw. You know how Raw is only 3 hours, but it feels like it sucks the life right out of you. And it takes your whole entire night and turns 3 hours of what you're supposed to be enjoying and where you're supposed to be having fun and turning it into a long, boring snooze fest where you're pretty much sitting on your couch with NyQuil being intravenously fed into your veins. That's what I expect out of this show. So hopefully I make it to the end. And hopefully I am awake by the end of it all to come back here and tell you guys what I think about it. So make sure you are here to do that. And one of the ways you can do that is by hitting that subscribe button. If you haven't done that already, I don't know what your problem is. If you've been on this channel and you've been watching and you've been here for this long and you watched this whole review and you are not subscribed to come back for more of this, you got a problem. So let's solve it. Hit the subscribe button and don't forget to ding the little dingery-doo bell right next to it so you know every single time a video goes up and is live for your viewing pleasure, brought to you by us right here on the Sledgehammer TV YouTube channel. Thank you guys so much. Once again, all our new subscribers that came in across the week, thank you so much for being part of the team. Don't forget to leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think is going to happen tomorrow night, and I could let you know whether or not you are right or wrong. I will be replying to most comments that are thrown my way over here, so make sure you get active. Don't forget also to smash that thumbs up. I would really, really appreciate it. Thank you guys, as always, for Blue the Snowball Microphone. I am Nick Nightmare. Extreme Rules is tomorrow night, and I am out of here. Thank you for watching.